You approach the docks where fishing lines are set up available for public usage. The smell of the salty brine invites you to waste some time. Whatever is on the other end of the line must be a really large catch, because it is putting up one hell of a fight. You dig deep, and with all your strength you pull. You nearly fall on your ass when you see a very annoyed set of eyes staring back up at you from the surface of the ocean. A woman with long flowing turquoise hair, large bountiful bare breasts, and fins.
Excuse you, what the hell do you think you're doing, Sandstomper?
As Sandstomper, wait, you're an actual mermaid. No way.
The girl gives you an annoyed look.
Oh great, not only are you rude, but also slow. I can't believe that my dinner was interrupted by someone like you.
What?
You are so confused by how casual this mythical creature is about this whole encounter that you are having a hard time stringing your thoughts together.
Side dinner, you know, the meal that comes after lunch, usually during the evening, where most of the time you don't have to worry about some lander coming around and pulling you away. That hook of yours better not have left any scaring, by the way.
You get annoyed at how rude this mermaid is being, and finally find your words.
Hey, it's not like I was planning on doing that. I was just trying to catch some fish. And besides, I thought mermaids were supposed to be friends to fish or whatever.
Friends with fish? Why would you possibly think that? They can barely look in the same direction with both eyes, let alone hold an interesting conversation. No, they are food, and this particular beach has a lot of them free for the taking. Most mermaids don't come around these parts because they don't like being close to your kind, which means there are way more fish around here than back home, and I am making the most of it.
Well, sorry, I guess. But this is kind of a fishing area, so don't be shocked if I am not the only person that finds you at the end of their line.
And leave all of my meals for you stiltwalkers to have. I don't think so.
She sticks her tongue out at you like a petulant child, before turning her back to you and diving back down into the depths. The last thing you see of her is her tail as it splashes water towards you. Bitch!
Welcome, I'm Marnie. Looks like you're new around here, so let me give you the deets. All of our stuff is made from the freshest ingredients, caught locally by customers just like yourself. There are fishing docks not that far from here, and if you bring your catch to me, I will pay you for the effort. That way you know exactly where your food is coming from, haha. Thanks for the goods, here you earn this.
You made $41. Have some sushi, 25.
So what's the plan? You delivering or dining in?
Thanks for the goods, here you earn this. You made $85. You dig deep, and with all your strength you pull.
You again.
You manage to hook the rude mermaid once more. She gives you a scowl and puffs her cheeks at you in annoyance. She looks to have been enjoying the all-you-can-eat buffet under the water, because poking out from underneath her sizable bust is a flabby starter belly, a soft crease forming along its middle.
Me again.
You say flatly,
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't drag you down here with me.
you give the pier a kick.
Because you can't reach me up here.
I bet you think you're so clever. You better hope that I don't see you in open water.
She unhooks herself from your line and tosses it into the ocean before turning tail and heading back into the waters. Someone manages to catch your eye during transit today.
How am I not supposed to look? I am only human.
Whatever is on the other end of the line must be a really large catch, because it is putting up one hell of a fight. You dig deep, and with all your strength you pull.
We really need to stop meeting like this.
You are surprised that the line didn't end up snapping based on the size of the mermaid. She has put on quite a bit of weight since you last came upon her. Her belly now hangs heavily, floating on the surface of the water under her noticeably larger breasts. Honestly, you would be happier to see the sight if the person that was the owner of the breasts wasn't such a temperamental brat.
If I had any say in it, we wouldn't be. However, I seem cursed to constantly be finding myself the victim of this stupid game that you are playing. I had at least heard tale of handsome lander men. Why couldn't I have been fortunate enough to end up his plaything instead of with your ugly mouth?
You contain your anger and respond through gritted teeth.
I don't think most men are into walrus, unfortunately.
You seem to have struck a chord.
How dare you? I will have you know that I am as fit as I have ever been. I just happen to be more voluptuous thanks to my own cleverness. Once I have had my fill, I will be back to my old figure in no time.
Keep telling yourself that, Shamu.
That's not my name. Only an idiot would name their child something like that. Goes to show what you know.
She swims away, clearly wanting to get the last word in. You honestly are starting to find these interactions fun, if not just to make fun of this mermaid with an overinflated, fragile ego.
Do you have nothing better to do?
Well, I'm worried that if I don't fish now, Then you will have stuffed everything into your fat gob.
Mermaid is properly fat at this point. Her arms are thick and her neck is barely visible past her chins. Her breasts hang off the sides of her fat belly, and you can tell that even her fish half is noticeably wider.
What I choose to eat and how I look has nothing to do with you. In fact, you're stealing. We merfolk only have what the sea has to offer, and yet you greedily take from us when you have an abundance of rocks or whatever it is that you all eat on the surface.
You don't find it a bit ironic calling others greedy when you are ballooning in size every time I see you?
Mermaid takes particular umbrage with your last remark and clearly can't bring herself to continue the conversation.
Go drink fresh water, you double-tailed freak.
Mermaid turns and slams her tail on the surface of the water as she dive kicks below the surface. Water splashes onto, leaving you soaked to your socks, though you can't help but snicker.
Aloha, welcome. My name's Puca. Take a look at the menu and let me know what I can get you. Our drinks only use the freshest of ingredients and are blessed by the sea goddess herself, so you just know they are going to be delicious.
The bubbly bartender greets you with a wide smile on her face. A large variety of alcohols line the shelves, many of which you have never seen before, along with large amounts of tropical fruit for mixing. You are excited to give them a taste.
Hey there, you looking to wet your whistle? This drink is a blend of passion fruit, guava, white rum, and a floral syrup that I made myself.
Gain between 1 and 2 energy tomorrow.
This is a heavier cream-based drink that uses coconut milk, honey, and lotus extract, along with a hazelnut liqueur.
Gain or lose a small amount of weight tomorrow.
This one is a tangy cocktail that uses lime juice, pineapple juice, gin, and frothy egg whites.
Potentially find some money tomorrow.
Twist on a classic. You got spiced rum, orange juice, coconut cream, and a fruit skewer.
Raises your stomach capacity. You love the beach. People have way less problem with showing off skin.
Whoa, there is a cloud of glitter around this woman. Probably shouldn't get too close.
You earned 94 from your stock investment.
Help me, help me, help me, help.
You thought you had heard someone crying off in the distance while walking the beachfront, and your ears weren't deceiving you. Though as you grew closer to who was asking for help, you began to recognize the voice. Laying on the beach is the mermaid that you have had many altercations with, and judging by how she is trying and failing to push herself off the ground, it is no wonder that she was calling out for help. Can't stop yourself from grinning widely at the sight of the beach girl. Her belly is so fat that she sits a few feet off the ground, unable to turn herself to the side or to get enough leverage to push herself with her flabby arms. Tears have welled in the corner of her eyes, and she is red in the face due to a mix of embarrassment, frustration, and exertion.
So, have you had your fill of fish yet?
Could you not? I'm seriously stuck and I need help.
Oh, are you sure? Having to rely on a sandstomper like me, I bet that would just eat you alive on the inside.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that what you want to hear? Now would please give me a hand.
You saunter up to her side and place a hand on her back. Her skin is slick, like there is some kind of transparent membrane surrounding her skin. She gives you an uneasy look.
You see it? It doesn't sound like you really meant that. Now, I could be convinced to push your whale ass back into the ocean, but only if you admit what you did to yourself. I think that would help me to know that you have actually learned a lesson.
The mermaid bites her lips, clearly wanting to say something back to you, but she knows she isn't in a position to argue. She takes a deep breath and averts her eyes before sheepishly saying,
I might have gone a bit overboard.
I don't know, this looks a little more extreme than that. I'm not fully convinced.
I ate too many fish and now I'm too fat to push myself back into the water.
She says with a bit more force. Her voice is blunt, and she is staring off into the distance as she speaks.
I mean, that's true, but I don't think that fully captures just how big and greedy you have become. Maybe once more with a little more effort.
The mermaid lets out a squeal of anger through puffed cheeks before shouting loudly.
I'm a big fat blubbery whale. I couldn't stop myself from eating all the fish in front of me, and when I felt like I was going to burst, I ate more. My body is a pile of fatty rolls and my breasts are swollen and heavy and I can't stop myself from wanting more. Push me back into the water, please.
You pat her on the back and say,
Yeah, okay, I think you learned your lesson, or at least learned a bit more about yourself. Come on.
Brace your back against her side. You feel yourself sink a bit into the soft flesh of her many rolls, and then you dig your feet into the sand and begin to push with all of the strength that you can muster. At the same time, she twists her body to follow your lead. She begins to rock back and forth. You worry that she might end up crushing you when her weight almost entirely rests on your back, but you use the momentum to give one final push, sending her toppling end over end. The water splashes as she tumbles into the waves. When she comes to a stop, with her body mostly submerged, she is able to get here bearing, dolphin kicking her way further into the surf. She turns towards you and gives you a soft,
Oh, thanks.
before disappearing under the surface. Some things change while others stay the same. Though in this instance, not how you would have guessed. Her weight looks to have hit a plateau that, or she has slowed down her eating since she beached herself, but she doesn't seem to be her usual prickly self when she breaches the surface at the end of your line.
Oh, hi, thanks again for the other day. It was an Enlightening moment. I'll probably stay around these parts for a bit. Maybe you could teach me a thing or two about the human world whenever we run into each other like this.
Yeah, sure. I'm Aubrey, by the way.
Indra, teach Indra about humans.
Humans live inside hollow trees that disguise themselves as stone towers.
Wow, I never would have guessed. Thanks for sharing. Here, have this. I have too much anyway.
She hands you a mackerel. Puca is looking a little rounder around the middle. The little bit of flab she has gets constricted by her frilly bikini in an appealing way.
Nothing like a refreshing drink to help beat the summer heat. What's your drink of choice today, Hoa?
Puca is positively plump. There is a bit of hang to her belly now and her arms are looking much softer. You decide to mention it to her, but she just brushes it off.
I mean, maybe a little, but I don't think it is all that noticeable, Aubrey. Maybe you've been getting a bit too much sun. Here, let me grab you a drink so you can cool down. I just don't get it,
Puca says to herself, looking down at her once thin body, looking defeated.
What's wrong?
I've prayed to the sea goddess for as long as I can remember. I bring her gifts to others, and yet she doesn't do the same for me.
What?
Do you think I want to be fat?
Puca says, shaking the spare tire that has formed on her belly.
I've been drinking so many of my own drinks trying to get a blessing from her, and just nothing.
Well, what is it that you want? Maybe I can help.
Puca looks at you with a distant stare, clearly not thrilled about the offer for some reason.
That's okay. I'm sorry to drag you into my troubles. Just forget about it. I should be focusing more on doing my job anyway. Oh, aloha, Aubrey. I'll get you something made up right away.
She looks pretty defeated. I wonder if I can find something that will restore her faith in the sea goddess. I should look around.
While walking the shoreline, you aren't sure why, but you feel compelled to explore beyond the normal reaches of the beach. You clamber over rocks and squeeze your way through an opening in a crag, where when you pop out the other side you are greeted by an absolutely gorgeous view. Crystal clear water shimmers under the rays of the sun, lush foliage flanks the shore as the scent of flowers in bloom is carried by the softly rippling waves. You are oddly at ease. Something about this isolated cove is serene, almost supernaturally so. You feel a compulsion inside of you, a thought crossing your mind that in your soul you know to be true.
I need to bring Puca here. This is where the sea goddess will answer her prayers. I can feel it.
The two of you make your way along the shoreline. The waves lick your feet as the water splashes against the shimmering white sand. Puca trails behind you, constantly readjusting her too small bikini, clearly embarrassed by the way her body jiggles and shakes with each step she takes.
You sure it's this way? I know this beach like the back of my hand, and I'm pretty sure this just leads to a cliffside.
Puca questions.
Trust me, you of all people are going to want to see this.
You lead her through the opening in the crag. The two of you shimmy your way through, and you can see Puca holding her breath in an attempt to suck in her gut. Sun beats down on the two of you as you exit on the other side of the cliffs to the hidden cove. It is just as beautiful as you remember. The only sound that can be heard is the lapping of water as the ocean beats against the sand. It is so tranquil that you almost don't even want to take a step to disturb the silence.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I can't believe this has been hiding here the whole time. Surely this place is the work of the sea goddess. Only someone like her could create something like this.
Puca clasps her hands together and closes her eyes, falling into prayer. The flowers flanking the water begin to rustle as a breeze kicks up, sweeping across the sand and causing Puca's hair to flutter in the wind. She opens her eyes, a look of calm resolve on her face.
She wants me to go in the water.
You watch as Puca walks over to the ocean and gingerly wade out into the surf, lowering herself to her knees. She holds her belly in her hands as the water licks her legs and splashes onto her thighs. Sun reflects off the surface of the water, illuminating her whole body, almost to the point of her looking like she is glowing. You hear as she inhales deeply before exclaiming loudly,
I want to have huge boobs.
Her words echo off of the surrounding cliffs and you just stand in dumbstruck silence. You can't fault the girl for wanting what she wants, but you did kind of expect her devotion to come from something a bit more spiritual. Moments pass, and you can see disappointment begin to settle in for Puca, until the water at her knees begins to swirl around her in an unusual way. Water lilies join the swirl and dance around her as clearly something is happening. Puca lets out a slight moan and wraps her arms around her middle. She looks slightly distressed. You begin to make your way over to see if she needs help only for it to become clear that the Puca's wish has been granted. The moment, all of the weight that she had put on over the course of the time you knew her rushes throughout her body and makes its way onto her chest. Her bikini top explodes as her tits surge forward. Puca nearly falls flat on her face but manages to catch herself. It takes a little bit of time for her to register what just happened, but she quickly goes from confused shock to elation once she realizes that her wish had been granted.
Hahaha, yes, yes, yes. Oh my god, look at them, they are perfect. So big and round and bouncy, just like I had always imagined they would be. I knew that she would bless me if I kept believing. This was all just a test on my faith and I passed, and my reward are these big fat boobies.
Puca is practically in hysterics as she cups her breasts, which are both far too large to be held in one hand. She gives them a shake and a squeeze, and you feel yourself getting hot around the collar at the sight of her fondling herself. Puca sees you watching, and it sinks in exactly what she is doing. Regaining some of her composure, she gets to her feet and wades her way out of the water.
How about we head back? I can make you a drink after I find something to wear.
You give her a soft smile.
Yeah, that sounds good.
The bar seems busier than usual today. Men are practically lying down the beach waiting for a chance to get served by Puca. You are about to head out, not wanting to wait before Puca gestures for you to come to the side of the bar. Puca greets you with an enthusiastic wave, which causes the two boulders strapped to her chest to sway back and forth, almost knocking over a bottle of liquor on the counter. She probably still needs some time to get used to the extra size.
Aloha, Aubrey. Don't worry about the line, you're VIP. I can always find time to serve you.
You had been suspecting it over the last few times you visited, but there is no doubt now, Puca's breasts are even bigger. A fact that she is well aware of when you bring it up to her.
Isn't it awesome? I've been having a drink or two after my shift, and I guess that if I were to put on any weight, it just ends up on the girls. The sea goddess generosity knows no limits, I guess. Though I might have to take it easy, it is kinda getting hard to keep upright these days, haha.
Whatever is on the other end of the line must be a really large catch, because it is putting up one hell of a fight. You dig deep, and with all your strength you pull. Offer sandwich.
Oh wow, so this is what human food looks like. Looks weird. I'll make sure to eat it all.
Whatever is on the other end of the line must be a really large catch, because it is putting up one hell of a fight. You dig deep, and with all your strength you pull.
I don't think that human food agrees with mermaids. I don't think I will even be able to make the trip back home at this point, even if I wanted to.
Seems like Puca's theory about all extra weight landing on her chest was right. You see her laying down on the beach next to her bar. Her two colossal breasts are each larger than the rest of her body, and she is clearly groundbound. Though based on her expression, she hardly seems to be bothered by it.
Well, looks like I might have overdid it, Aubrey. But like they say, no such thing as too much of a good thing, though I can't really handle service anymore. So help yourself and I will walk you through how to make your drink.
You are not super thrilled to have to pay to make your own beverage, but you find that looking at Puca tends to make you forget that annoyance. The line of other customers would make you think this is a shared sentiment.
Loha hoa, Sue, I'm sure you remember how you helped me with my personal demons all that time ago. Trust me, I am still grateful about it. Boo, I kinda have a bit of an issue now. I've been extra careful with my diet ever since I wasn't able to move around on my own anymore. But no matter how hard I try, I just keep getting bigger. The sea goddess seems to have really taken a liking to me, which is cool and all, but like, when does it stop? You know, I really hate to sound ungrateful, both to you and the goddess, but I do kind of miss having my feet touch the ground, so I've been trying to find a way to, if not stop it, to at least slow it down before I become a literal beached whale. Let me know if you can help, or to talk, or whatever. A huey hoo, Puca. Word through the grapevine is that you happen to know someone who also has had some personal experience with a goddess. Is there any chance that you could maybe get me in contact with her? I'm still okay for now, but having the ability to stop this before I end up as an island floating off the coast would probably be for the best.